Today we're going to look at this Crisis Protocol terrain set. Hi guys, Jonathan from Two Raven Studios. Welcome! Please subscribe. I actually recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'd like to thank everyone that has subscribed, liked, and shared my videos. Today we're going to look at the Cosmic Terrain Pack for Marvel Crisis Protocol by Atomic Mass Games. We will look at the individual pieces, we will compare it to the New York Terrain set, and we'll just see if this is something worth purchasing for you or not. So let's get right into it and start looking at the different pieces that make up this set. So we're starting off with the sign here. So you can see it's a size 2 piece of terrain. It's got some nice detail on both sides. Pretty cool. Nice recesses. It actually comes in just 2 pieces, so you have the bottom and the top. They stick together, nice and simple. You also have these lights, which are a size 1 piece of terrain. There's some detailing on one side, the light on the other. So there's the light on that side. And it's just a nice small piece of size 1 terrain. You get a couple of them. The same sprue also has these little tiny boxes on there, so it's just kind of scattered terrain you can put around. I actually glued all of them together to make another piece of size 1 terrain, so just get a little bit more bang for your buck out of the box. Next up we have the barricades. So they come in the sprue. There's 4 total. The box incorrectly says there's 8 on the back. There's only 4 in here. So these are size 2 terrain. They go together nice and easy. You just have 2 sides. Have the 2 on the bottom. And pretty easy to clean up that one mold line running across the middle of the piece. Next we have the untethered node. So here's the sprue. You can see nice big blocked pieces. There's this little hose here that fell off the sprue. But you have the base here. Again, this is a size 3 piece. And this is what it looks like when you have it assembled. Kind of got some cool detailing. Some of the wires are detached, you can see. Nice detailing there on the top. And it's just a pretty neat piece. And the last sprue that comes in here is this, which has pieces of the vendor shop and the tethered node. So you can see the pieces of the tethered node, and then you have the pieces over here for the shop. The rest of the shop is one solid piece. It's this big block here. You have the front that slide in, and then the 2 details on the sides. And this is what it looks like assembled. So you can see you have the sign on the side, the antenna on the other side, front. Says size 4 on the inside of there. And then all those other pieces go together with the node, which is like this. You can kind of see it's what that untethered node would look like if it was in an upright position. Size 3 again on the bottom. Has all that same detailing. It matches the other one. You can kind of see here it's the same detailing on both. They're just in different positions. So if you hold it that way, you see they look the same. Just the wire coming out, the cabling is longer on the one and disconnected. So now that we've seen how the pieces of the terrain set go together and what they are, let's compare them to the pieces of the New York City terrain set to see how the sizes compare up against the size. So what the size 3 pieces look like in this set compared to the size 3 in the New York set, and so on. Now to compare the pieces. So this is the size 4 piece that you get at the vendor shop. The size 4 from the New York set would be the truck that we have here. So I assembled it as the garbage truck. You can see they're about the same height. The vendor hall is a little bit wider, but the garbage truck is a little bit longer. But they are both very similar in size. You see there the vendor's wider. And you might want to compare it also to the size 3 piece of terrain, the little shop that comes with the starter set. You can kind of see they're the same length, about the same height, but the vendor shop is definitely wider. So these two are very, very similar in size. But again, the one is size 3 and the other is size 4. You can see there that the one in this set is wider than the one in the starter. For size 3 pieces, we have the nodes. Size 3 that we were just looking at would be the shop from the starter set. So you can see they're about the same length, about the same width if you lay the one on the side. The untethered one is actually very similar in size to the shop itself. The untethered one has about the same volume, but it's distributed slightly different because it's upright. So in that position, they're similar in size. But again, the untethered one is actually very similar with the orientation that it's in. Next up, we have the size 2, which would be the barricades and the sign from this set. And from the New York set, we would have the dumpster and the car. You can see they're about the same length. Obviously, the dumpster and the car both take up more volume on the battlefield than the barricades, but they're relatively similar in size. And for the size 1, we have the light in this set, and we have the stoplights and streetlights from the New York set. So if you look at them, this one is... the light from this set is actually smaller than the ones from the original set. It's both shorter and the base takes up less space. So you can see here, it's a little bit shorter than the light, but the base takes up less volume on the battlefield. Same with the stop sign. It's actually quite a bit shorter than the stoplight, but the base is a bit smaller, just like the other one. So is this terrain set for you? Let's look at exactly what we get before we determine that. So here's all the pieces. You have the vendor, which is one size 4. You have the 2 nodes, which are size 3. You have the barricades and signs, which are size 2, 6 pieces total, and 4 lights that are size 1 for a total of 13 pieces of terrain. You can get a 14th if you put all the crates together like I did. So with 13 or 14 if you're creative pieces of terrain, this does give us enough for a standard game because I recommend it's 12. So out of the box, this terrain pack gives you what you need for a game. It also gives you some variety because you have a size 4 piece, 3, 2, and 1. So there's all the sizes. If we compare it to the New York City terrain set, you only get 10 pieces total, and you're not getting a size 4, and you get 2 less size 2 pieces in that. So this is more expensive than the other terrain sets. The MSRP on it is around $70 compared to around $20 on the New York terrain set. But again, you're getting more. For the New York terrain set, to get something comparable, you'd actually have to add the truck to it, which again those 2 things combined would be more than this terrain set. So if you're looking for something just to have a full terrain set to play a game with, this is actually your best option out of what's currently available because it gives you a full 13 pieces of terrain ranging in all the sizes you would need. That being said, most people playing this game start it with the starter box, which gives you most of the content of the New York terrain pack. You're just missing one of the kiosks. And this terrain doesn't really match that terrain. That's the problem with it. So if you're looking to expand the existing New York terrain collection, this is probably not your best bet. You probably want to get the construction site or the truck. But if you're looking to build a whole new terrain set, this is a perfect way to do it. So again, it's really what you're looking for. I personally really like the terrain set. The quality of it's amazing. The pieces look really amazing. And me personally, I actually run a lot of games for my local game store, so I like having more than one terrain set. So having something that I can make a second table's worth of terrain with is perfect for me. So I really like this set. But if you're looking to just expand the terrain you currently have from the starter, this might not be the way to go because, again, it's a different setting, so it doesn't really match that existing terrain. If you're more interested in building like a cityscape and expanding the New York terrain, this is also available. I'll be reviewing this next week, so tune back next week to make sure you check this out. There's some cool stuff in here. I have a lot to say, so I'm going to check this out, and I'm going to compare every piece of terrain released for the game so far once we have this set open next week. I'm also starting to paint the Cosmic Terrain set. I'm going to go for a little bit of a cyberpunk look. This was my test piece, one of the barricades. So if you'd like to see the painting process once I actually finish this set, let me know in the comments so I'll film it up for you guys so you can see what I do. As always, if you found that helpful, I'd appreciate a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm also going to leave a link to my friend's channel, Nerdzoic. He does action figure reviews, kind of everything nerdy, so if you're into that kind of stuff, check him out. He also does a live show, Nerd Talk Live, and I'm a regular guest on that, so you can see me outside of the miniature realm talking about Star Wars, Marvel, and other sorts of things over there. Until next time, keep on gaming and paint your minis.